Welcome, my good and great friends, to Hacking Self Storage. I'm your host, Dean Booty. It's Friday morning. Don't we all feel better on a Friday? I don't know why. Mind you, I've had an awesome week because it's been Cheltenham this week. I love Cheltenham, and yeah, I've had some good quotes, etc. So, and I will share that all with you guys on Monday. Okay, so it's a real short, sharp message for you guys today. It's a thoughtful Friday, and it's something that I realize that I haven't been doing enough of, but now I've opened it up recently. I can't get enough of it, and it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. And I normally use other people to show me this data and to compound a report for me, and then I look at it. But what I've learned is that I really enjoy looking at these sort of reports, and it's Google Analytics. It has so much information there. The depth of information is incredible. The reason why I've been looking at Google Analytics, and this is very, very, very important, is when I've been looking at my conversion rates. Okay, so I don't know how much everybody knows about internet marketing and stuff, but the way in marketing that we look at customers and quotes and stuff like that is a funnel. It's a funnel. So you start with the top end of a funnel is very, very wide, and it gets smaller and smaller and smaller until you eventually get the moving, right? So at the minute, what we do is we track the conversions from quotes to move-ins, from quotes to reservations. We track them to metrics. And why wouldn't you? That's brilliant. However, you're missing out from at the very, very top of a funnel. You're missing the very, very top of the funnel. So to get to the quote form, you actually got to come on the website first of all. So the question is, that somebody put to me last week, it was actually a store team, was like, how many people are hitting the top of your funnel? I was like, brilliant question. I'll get you the data. And it's so fascinating to see. The top of a funnel is when people come to your website. So for me in self-storage, I'm going to say three because I'm making this up on the hop. There's three parts of your funnel. So there's people coming into your website, first of all, your homepage, when they actually come into your website. And then what you want them to do, you want them to get the quote. And so your first one is coming into your website. Second one, the journey, is you ultimately want them to get them a quote. And then you want them to reserve. So how many people? One, that comes into your top of your funnel. Two, how many filters down there? What percentage do you lose? And why are you losing them? Why aren't they going? Because everybody who comes to your website is ultimately, or I would say a high majority of your website, of website traffic, who, I'm getting passionate, high majority of them people, unless it's a mistake of hitting your website, they're coming because they want a price on self-storage. So my question is, if you haven't got a high conversion rate from visitors to quotes, then your website isn't performing very well. It's doing something wrong. They have to be hitting that quote page. And then obviously, so there's like I said, three sections. So that's section one, from the homepage to the quote page, right? And so what we now need to do is from that page, that's that job done. The job of a homepage is to get them to do the quote. And then the job of a quote page is always to go to the next section. The next section for me, it's what size unit, and then put in your details. And then ultimately, so we want them to go to the next stage. That is the next stage. And on Google Analytics, we can see how many people drop out at what stage. So first of all, I'm asking you, when you go a quote, I ask you, what size do you want? And then we have loads of different sizes. We have loads of different shapes, and well, not shapes. We have loads of different sizes and loads of information there. And if you aren't correctly displaying that information, guess what? You're going to lose people through the funnel. And so we have to monitor that, because they've clicked a quote, and obviously you've got to choose a size of unit. But why at that point do we lose some people? And then we've actually got to go then to the information page, because I hide my prices, as you already know, if you're a long-time listener, I hide my prices through an information wall. And then you understand and expect that you will lose some people here. You will filter some people out, but I accept that, because then we've got people's details. Don't know why I'm drawing a line around it. If you're watching me on YouTube or LinkedIn or something, so you've got people's details. Once you've got people's details, then we can do something with that information. We can follow them up. The devil is in the detail. The devil is in the follow-up. The cashier? I don't know, whatever. And so we're getting from the funnel, the top line funnel of coming to your website, getting the quote, and then we want their details, and then ultimately want them to reserve. And so many people, including myself, we only highlight how much the middle of a funnel. So they've gone from a quote to reservation. We only highlighting the percentage there. But what we really want to know and understand is, how is your top of your funnel behaving? What are the results like? Is it performing well enough? And so we need them people to take that journey from the top of the funnel, go into the homepage to get in the quote form. And I feel like I repeat myself absolutely shitloads here, but I just wanted to ultimately really hammer that home because that information is so important, and I think it's critical, and I think that so many people are overlooking that in this industry. And this industry, we seem to be only starting the tracking at the middle of the funnel. The middle of the funnel is number 2 when we're asking for a quote. But the top of the funnel, which not many people seem to be tracking, is website visitors. How many people come onto your homepage? And then ultimately, how many people come on your homepage? What percentage are you converting? I mean, I've got to do a little bit more research, but it looks as though we're converting at an astounding rate. I'll have to go back through my information that I've got from other self-storage facilities, but it looks as though we're performing really, really well on that level. And then once you know what you're performing like, you know where the problem is. I was talking to somebody today, actually. I was talking to someone today, and they were saying, okay, Dean, what if this is going wrong? Say we've got a problem with quotes. Then what do we do? What's the problem? It's very, very simple as self-storage. If you've got a problem with quotes, then you know that you've either got an SEO, a marketing problem, an SEO problem, or a pay-per-clicks problem. There's only very, very limited amount of things that can contribute to that. If you've got a problem with quotes, if you've got a problem with revenue, if your revenue is going down, then there's only so many levers to pull. So this is an incredible tool that people overlook, is Google Analytics, because we're talking about quotes, we're talking about move-ins, and we want to know what percentage of our visitors are actually moving in. So website visitors, what percentage of our website visitors are actually becoming a customer? And let's map out the funnel. How many people, what percentage of people are actually getting a quote? What percentage of actually people who've got a quote are actually moving in and reserving? And then once we know that data, we know if we've got a holy bucket. We know we're going to have a holy bucket, but we don't know the extent of the holy bucket. Is there a hole that we need to patch up, or is it understandable? Is it something that we expected, that loss of customers in that point? As you can tell, I absolutely love shit like this. I love this data. It tells me, how many page views we've had. Last month we've had 2,338 page views. It's brilliant. And I'm looking at the exits, where people exit. 782 of them have exited from my homepage. And then I've got that's 33%. Clough Road, I've had 12% exit from my Clough Road prices. 244 have exited from the quote form at Willoughby. That's 10%. So yeah, it's all this data that we can look at, and we can then make a better informed decision. Like I always say, at the minute in self-storage, we don't need to know any of this shit, because self-storage just works. But I promise you, all this stuff is second nature to most internet marketers. And I promise you, at one point or another in the next 10 years, we will have to know this data. We will have to step up our game, and we will have to learn, educate, or get somebody else who can do this for you, because this industry will be getting a shitload more competitive. And that means that we have got to be better businessmen and women and people, and we've got to be better salespeople as well. Well, not salespeople, operators. We've got to be better operators. So yeah, I love it. We're going to up our game, and don't worry, I'm going to be upping my game and documenting every single part of that journey, because from a marketing background, digital marketing, I love it. So this to me is like storage porn. It really is. I genuinely love it. All right, guys, girls, I thought it was going to be a short episode, but as ever, I've repeated myself about 6 or 7 times. But why change? It's me. I know I'm doing it. The problem is I'm thinking, Dean, you said that about 5 times. Shut up. Go on to the next point. I'm like, I can't. I need to just underline it, circle it, make sure people understand it. And I'm thinking, no, I'm having this conversation in my head, by the way, while I'm actually talking. I'm like, no, you're confusing people, because you say that many times, in that many different ways. You're just confusing people. I'm like, oh, for God's sake. Anyway, right. Thank you very much for listening, guys and girls. I love you. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful weekend. And I promise you that I will try my very, very best not just keep repeating myself all the time. Again, I'm going to test and improve and get better all the time, just like we need to do in self-storage. Oh, you see that? That's clever. I brought it back around to the loop. All right, guys, girls. See ya. Love you. Bye.